I think here's the story that I really wanted to get to. Sylvester McCoy, and God bless him. Apparently, he posted this on Facebook as well. Bit silly. Poor old Sylv, right? Poor old Sylv. Sylvester wants to remind Doctor Who fans in America that Donald Trump is the absolute opposite of everything the Doctor stands for. Again, I understand you believe. Well, I'll show you my response in a second. The opposite of everything you love about the series. No, you're wrong. Please remember that when you're making your vote. Oh, you know that. So I, amongst others, have replied, right? Oh, I got a new reply now. Oh, yeah, somebody said they liked it. I think. There we go. But yeah, there's a lot going on here. Sylvester, I don't know if you ever read this, but I love you, baby. I do love him. You are my doctor. And I should say you were, and it still are fantastic. But you are being royally roasted in the reply set, and yes, he is. This is why I stick around on Twitter and I don't use Facebook, because he posts it on Facebook, and Facebook is just like the lodestone for woke. Oh God, they're the worst. They own that platform. That's why I don't go near it. Right, I post my stuff on it, but I really don't use it that much at all. And the reason, but you're being royally roasted in the reply to. We'll look at this in a minute, and for good reason. The trouble is, you live in a lovey actor bubble that is completely out of touch with most of the population. How out of touch? You think people voting for Trump are doing so because they're bigots and fascists. That's nonsense. Firstly, your lovey actor bubble's view of reality cannot stand up to any questioning at all, which is why all conversation is always shut down by people on your side of the political fence screaming, "Wafist!" whenever asked a question. But mostly, you need to interact and talk to people having differing views than you, rather than labeling them. Frankly, I think Trump is the only moral choice in this election. I have a YouTube channel. If you want to come on and talk out how we can have such massively differing worldviews, you're always welcome. And it's, I'll try and be honest. I can't. You always get the weirdos. Okay, imagine when you do thumbnails like that. And I point out he doesn't know what's upsetting him. It's making my knickers too tight. It's making my knickers too tight. I know. They may not be racist or fashion, but they're supporting somebody clearly is. So what does that say? I didn't see you reply. That's a while ago. It's I've really yet to see anything racist or fascist when viewed accurately in context. Meanwhile, the Biden White House spearheaded using the criminal justice system to suppress their political rivals. That's normally the first thing to go. The first go-to thing for a totalitarian government. So, attempting to overthrow an election, encouraging a storm of the Capitol, threatening those who wouldn't find him votes, or who wouldn't put him over the Constitution. Listen, if none of that happened, you'll still hate him. And none of that did happen. Repeating threatening retaliation against the enemy within. As I replied, dude, you're just years out of date, mate. Most of those narratives are completely collapsed. Anyway, let's look at the more general replies. This is funny. I got to download this. This is hilarious. And again, look, don't be wrong. I love Sylvester McCoy. I think he was great as a Seventh Doctor. You know, I think he really created something very, very special there when, in very trying circumstances, right? Where everything was against him. They really they turned that show around and made it awesome. So I got a lot of respect for him for that. Absolutely. But like, this insistence that Trump is super Hitler, right? It's ridiculous. Again, he's overwhelmingly supported by the religious Jews. Overwhelmingly support him. Why do you think that is? Why do you think anybody supports him? And you can't just say, well, it's because they're bigots. I mean, you are going to say that, but it's a ridiculous thing to say. Let's see what the Ricky Gervais thing is. Doink.
Hi guys, Ricky G here, wellness and beauty influencer. As a celebrity, I know all about stuff, like science and politics. So trust me when I tell you who you should vote for. If you don't vote the right way, that's like a hate crime, and it makes me sad and angry, and I'll leave the country. And you don't want that.
Yeah. I know some idiots running his account. What can I tell you? The doctor wasn't made mistakes and errors in judgment, but would never side with cruelty and tyranny. Well, I think you're talking about the Harris side, right? Again, they have political prisoners, right? It's they've sex trafficked 300,000 children over the last 3.5 years, right? They've flooded the country with illegal aliens so they can end democracy, and they almost certainly stole the 2020 election. I don't know anything that Randall says. I stand for anything the doctor stands for, and I see him as good man. I see a good man in Donald Trump, a man who puts American people first. Yeah, no matter what creed, their color they may be. You make him sound bad, even evil. So you're calling me evil because I support him. I thought you were Christian. He never struck me as being that Christian. So is this? Oh yeah. So he goes on the Dominic Glynn. What can I say? No wormhole. Dominic Glynn is bonkers. I mean, like, absolutely. But I didn't realize. I responded to him, but he is absolute. And listen, this isn't that crush to me because I always hated his version of the soundtrack. Dun, 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 dun. It was like thank God you had the Sagun Akinola one pop up because it made his slightly less shit, right? But again, so after I replied, right, I saw his timeline and it's like. I mean, dude, get a life. I mean, like, oh yeah, he's Hitler, of course. You're bonkers, McBonkers. Oh, the Late Show. Okay, just because there's more crazy people, there's a lot more crazy people out there who agree with you, doesn't mean you're sane. Where is it? Oh, no, I'm on the wrong one. Hang on. Over here. So Dominic Glynn goes on this tirade, right? And so eventually, yeah, what was it? I thought I was saying, I'm on the wrong thing. A second. Doink. So goes on this like insane tirade. So eventually, I reply in video form because that's the way I roll, baby. Where is it? Dominic Habibi, this is genuinely painful to read, right? Painful to watch, painful to read. Look. I believe you're a moral person, right? I genuinely believe that you are a moral person and coming from a perspective of wanting to be a good person, wanting to be a moral person. And I know you believe with it just this ironclad confidence that you are completely informed and you know what you're talking about and you know everything, right? It's like Baldrick saying he's got a cunning plan. You really don't. Okay, let's take some example. Okay, I have to tell you, one second. This is making a little bit rabbi overload, right? I mean, it's one can only have so much rabbi. I understand. So what we're going to do, we're going to get a non-rabbi ballast, as I like. And rarely do I meet a man who can be more readily used as ballast. That Birmingham's King of the Geeks is Dan Hadley. How you doing, sir?
Hello, mate. Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. I look like I'm just in from some sort of SWAT.
Yeah, well, did you just arrest some political prisoners for Keir Starmer?
Yeah, I'm moonlighting for the as an enforcer for the man.
Funny. Oh, they should do a like a Sweeney-like TV show. You know, but for the completely corrupt third world junta that the Starmer government is.
I think it's possible. I think it's possible.
One second, I got to download this video clip. We were just discussing young Sylvester McCoy. It's political confusion, right? So he posted this thing, and essentially in the comments, I overwhelmingly got roasted, right? Overwhelmingly got roasted. Star Hoovian, always a smart Twitter user.
And a great clip to drop there too.
What's that?
That's a great clip to drop as well at that precise point.
But I feel even more
to hear a well-rounded adult speaking on the topic. You know, even though he's 20 years younger than Sylvester McCoy.
Just before the age of woke. Like, what year did that come out? That poetry?
2020 maybe.
No, it's got to be before then.
It was on the Blu-ray set, wasn't it?
Spoken that sensibly in the age of since Trump.
Well, just because it may have been released then doesn't mean it's recorded then.
That's a good point. Hey, let's hear that clip.
Thing, you'd only appeal to those people. Well, the Doctor is all those things. And I mean, if you happen to be a high old Tory, well, so's the Doctor. If you happen to be a revolutionary, well, so's the Doctor. If you happen to be a bit of a macho man, so's the Doctor. If you happen to like wearing cravats and have a remarkably limp wrist, so's the Doctor. You know, I mean, he's all those things at once. What's wrong with that? That's a...
The trouble is because they say Trump's super Hitler, right? And it's, again, did you see Dominic Glynn?
I haven't seen Dominic Glynn. I know Dominic's... so I don't know Dominic very well, but we've spoken a few times.
Trump insane rampage.
Yeah, I don't think he'd mind me saying that he's really quite left-wing.
He's woke as fuck. I mean, like...
being I suppose being left-wing and being woke don't necessarily go arm in arm.
No, they really don't. Look, I'm quite left-wing, you know, like, I'm quite progressive.
Well, you and I are both, generally speaking, classic liberals, aren't we?
Yeah, you know, well, neither of us are woke. Anyway, and also Moffat over here.
Absorbing all the best values of everything and making them into one person. The Doctor has to, because this is a mass appeal show, has to appeal to all sides of the argument. You can't just be the left-wing show or the right-wing show. You can't. You've got to appeal to everything. So the Doctor is simultaneously a complete pacifist, absolutely against war, and works for a military organization. The Doctor is a habitual revolutionary.
Again, I think it was when I heard this, I realized that the Doctor is a bunch of contradictions. Yeah. Right, and I think that's really why the character, and I think that's why people who are like play him simplistically, like Judy Gatwa and Jodie Whittaker. I think that's why the interpretations fall flat. I would say both. Judy Gatwa is very disappointingly two-dimensional. Right, I was hoping that his character would evolve. I really liked his when I first saw him the first time, and then it just like.
In all fairness, it's still my usual point at this mark. I'd be saying that it's still very early days, 8-9 episodes in the days of the Moffat era, the RTD1 era. We'd be about halfway through, just over the halfway point of a season by now, with a lot left to play for.
You're at the halfway point of the era now.
Yeah, I am still pretty convinced he's going to be around for a third season.
Really?
But yeah,
I don't think he's going to want to do it. I don't think he's going to want to do it, and I think they've had enough with him at Cardiff. They are not kissing his ass at Cardiff anymore. When it comes to the trajectory of the character, though, and in this instance, he's been led down this sort of blind alley. Really, he's been taken against his natural instincts. And being used, you know, your expression of purse puppy is so bang on the money. Yeah, he is. But like, look at.
I believe that Ncuti Gatwa as an actor, whether I think he's any good or not, and like I say, this role is the first one I've seen him in. I believe he's got some talent about him. And he recognised a opportunity to grow with this character, to grow his brand, but I think he genuinely wanted to get his teeth stuck into it and to have fun and to embody that character.
Sadly,
but it's gone.
He wasn't up for it.
I think he was looking not necessarily to be told explicitly where to put each foot, but I think I think when you're working for a team who've had great success with something before, it's not unreasonable for him to place trust in them, and they've led him down this blind alley. So you've got an actor who, generally speaking, I think he's capable enough, but who's never going to reach anywhere near his full potential, and he's going to go down in history as the butt of a massive joke. In 10 years' time, he'll be a has-been because of this.
I've often compared him to Bros. Remember Bros?
Yeah.
No, you won't if you're younger than us. Let me tell you.
Because shows like Sex Education, they come up on the radar every few years, and they have a certain amount of clout. But Sex Education isn't Bridgerton, is it? It hasn't. It's an underground. It's still quite an underground thing. Being on Netflix.
I think I was saying earlier, like tonight, this election, everything's on the line. Literally, if for our children to have the same sort of freedoms that we had growing up, opportunities, this is the last opportunity, right? It's totally on the line. But the inverse is also true. This could be the end of the culture war, right? And I think I'm optimistic, right? I'm optimistic.
This is so important, and I know that. In America, generally speaking, the thing I respect the most about Americans across multiple generations is how politically engaged they are. And this is regardless of, speaking from a totally non-partisan place, they invest, that they carefully consider how to cast their votes, and they are, generally speaking, I believe, a patriotic country.
They're patriotic, but they weren't this politically engaged back in the Obama years, right?
I don't know. The impression I've always had growing up was that the Americans were very, very politically engaged, and I've never really lost that. But with this in Britain, I think you get a lot of people who think they know what the lay of the land is because they see three or four minutes of it being talked about on Channel 4 News or the BBC every weeknight. And they think that's because that's all they've ever needed, that in a nutshell summary to make their calls. Then they'll go from day to day to day, believing they've got one eye on this great game that's going on. Whereas really what they're being shown now by British mainstream media is so heavily editorialized, so slanted. They are living in cloud cuckoo land. That's most anybody in Britain who consumes mainstream media only. That is, it just gets that, and they are.
There's a large demographic that does that in America. It's shrink a lot. But my point was this:
I was like that until about 5 years ago.
Yeah. So and they got progressively worse. So my point is this: if this is the end of the culture war, right? If this is crushing the woke, which it could do, right? It could. If Trump walks out with a huge victory, that's really a decisive win, right? DEI is going to be over. So this whole era in entertainment, the Shooty era, the Jodie era, it's going to be, it looked like people look at wearing bell bottoms and platforms in the 70s really quickly, all right? Really. So I just don't see 10 years from now. You're right. He's going to be.
Shooty will end up reprising his role on Sex Education more than his role as the doctor, the way things are going. Doing some sort of Sex Education reunion when they all go back to it when, in their 40s, catching up with the same characters. He'll go back to that character more than he'll go back to the doctor, because by the time he'll depart this, he won't have any greater grasp of this character when he leaves than he has when he started it. I mean, Jodie Whittaker got worse throughout her time on the show, but she never had the potential.
So it worked out better.
He's going in the same direction. He's going in the same direction, but it's for different reasons. And again, I don't think people are acknowledging that there is a difference between the two individuals and the two scenarios, but coming one after the other, what it's doing is effectively driving the series face back into the dirt again. Yeah.
Well, at breakneck speed, right? Yeah, let's have a finish listening.
He was very clear that he's in charge. He can style himself a man of the people all he wants in his sort of hippie John Pertwee way, but he is really expecting someone to get him tea. He's always starting a fight. Yeah. He's a peace-loving man who wanders the universe looking for trouble. And I think that gives the character a broad...
Yeah, absolutely. Finally, pull this back up. We'll have a look. You told me he was also on Facebook, and you engaged on there.
I did in a polite way.
Well, I think you probably got swarmed by the evil people who hang out there. Well, another clueless, out-of-touch actor attempts to use a popular character that he once played in a pathetic attempt to tell people how to vote. How disappointing. I don't know. He's old. I guess he's what, 70, whatever.
He's 81.
What?
He's 81.
Yeah. I mean, and somebody's running his feed for him. I'm going to tell you, as they say down here, in fact. Sylvester just needs to remember Doctor Who's fiction has also realised democracy is important, and so is the right of individuals to vote the way they want, and who to think will do the job properly. Sylvester needs to think about that before opening his gob. Again.
Well, that's fucking rich coming from that person, but in that instance, I agree with everything they say.
Okay. Donald Trump is the type of guy who wants unlimited rice pudding. That's certainly the narrative. Paul says, I'm extremely disappointed that you feel that, and this goes on and on. Phil, interfering in another country's election is a doctor thing. It isn't. Well, it kind of is. I mean, have you got into your season 25 box set yet?
Have I both? No.
Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me. I each day I check Amazon, right? Where is it shipped? Is it on the plane? I just want to. I mean, that's the whole problem.
Over my shoulder, there's a white packet on my bookcase, just there at the end of my finger. That is my season 25 box set there.
Oh, you are. You're an awful tease, Dan. An awful tease.
I know.
Why the one about the third person that says that? Anyway, do you want to pull up the Facebook one?
If you like, that's Mike. I hate to say it, my comment is, if you want to, you can see what I've got to say rather than me.
Don't care, still voting Trump. I like John Darrows, right? He's don't
ask me about him.
You
Next.
had not a good experience?
I can't talk about it. We've got too many mutual friends.
Okay, I am not getting involved.
Oh.
Let me look at Sylvester, not Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester McCoy. Is it?
Yeah, it's one of those where I had to, in the end, I mean, it was fun for a little while, but I had to turn off notifications on it because, you end up with, it's largely remixed of the same things, and it's a clone of the same people. It's the standard NPC that comes for you, isn't it? They come with their laughing emojis and they're all pumped up because particularly on Facebook, because it's still owned by a complete partisan lefty nut job. Right. You've got they know that they control the culture, they control that platform. So there's an air of confidence,
which is why I don't really go on the platform at all if I can avoid it. And I don't want to rankle Sylvester. I think he's a nice guy. I think he's a decent chap. I think he's a nice guy. I just think again he lives in this lovey bubble. What can you do? Where is this? Tuesday? No. I mean, I'm on his page. It's got, and I see. Here we go. I found it. There you go. Oh,
Sarah
replied as well.
It must. I'm going to say, Sarah doesn't go around looking for a fight either.
No. Although, don't get into a fight with Sarah. I also know that's good advice. I mean,
end up with the torn tesons and.
If you're in the S&M, right, and you want to be the M, she'll help you out. No question.
God.
She'll put you in your place. That was a compliment.
She'd definitely do that. Definitely do that.
Okay. That's what I was trying to say. Nothing more crazy than that. What are we up to? Fine. So what did she? It's interesting because I thought fun, escapist entertainment like Doctor Who and other TV shows brought people together from all walks of life, regardless of who people in other countries vote for. I remain hopeful there's more that unites us than divides us. I wish this tribalism would end. You know, I was thinking about this today.
Yeah.
Actually, last night. That, you know what I think? This is called a mass formation psychosis, right? When a bunch of people all get crazy together, right? Which the Trump supporters have or the Harris supporters have. One of the two. It's obviously the Harris supporters. But anyway, the Biden and Harris people. Here's what I think happened. Social media, Facebook especially, functions on emotional manipulation, right? The more they can emotionally manipulate you, the more they can keep you on the platform. And that's really the science of social media, right? Again, is emotional manipulation of the user. So I think after the 2016 election, when people said, it's all your fault, Facebook, they said, we'll do anything we can, not make it not happen again. And they turned the emotional control dial right up to 100. And it made a bunch of people crazy, right? Yeah. I really think that's a good place to have. Anyway, let's have a look. Dan says, good looking man.
I mean, firstly, look at Sarah's comment there. What she's added is very sensible, generous, calm, balanced, and demonstrably, provably true. And yet look at the people who drop these laughing emojis. What do they find so funny about what Sarah is stating there?
I'll tell you exactly why they're dropping the laughing emojis. It's because it's everything you just said. It was calm, it was reasonable, it was polite, and it was demonstrably true. So there's no answer, right? So there's no answer. All you can do is belittle it. That's why they do it.
The feeling I believe, because I had the same to my comments as well, masses of laughing emojis. I think, why do they do that? They do it because they know that she's right.
Exactly.
But they also know that even though she's right, there's nothing that she can do to bring about that change so that reality can line up with what's sensible and reasonable. And so, because they control, people like them control the culture, control the institutions, and control this platform. They know they're in control at the exact same time that they're playing the victim. So they're both the victims and the
worst people
and the abusers
humanity has ever produced. Right? These people are worse than the Taliban.
And it's similar with my comment there. I went in a little hard.
Let's read out your comment. I like to remind Sylvester that as much as we adore him, value his work. Value him and his work, he's an actor. That's true. If he respects and loves the American fans or fans the way they do him, he'll respect their freedom to vote the way they wish, for whom they decide, not as he would or now he believes is a totally fictional character. Well, the trouble is this: the total fiction that they connected to is that Trump is super Hitler, right? And it's demonstrably ridiculous, right? But if you say, no, he's not, people freak out, right? The people freak out beyond freak out. Everyone said he has a right to voice opinions like everybody else. Lots of celebrities dislike Trump and his views. Sylvester obviously cares about his American fans. I'm glad he doesn't vote blue. This is why I stay away from Facebook. Yeah. Good luck to you, darling. Emily Whitfield. Oh, I'm going to get...
Some of my replies to these have been hidden as well, because I have replied to a lot of them, but they're not coming up there.
Oh, really? Look at that. Hang on a second. It's not like he's forcing you to vote one way or the other. No, he's shaming you if you don't vote the way...
I never said that he was. It's so disingenuous comments like that.
But again, in their mind, Trump is super Hitler, and he's mesmerized you. Right? It's not a question if he's super Hitler, right? In their mind, he's super Hitler. Sky is blue. Trump is super Hitler.
I mean, bear in mind that neither myself nor Sarah mentioned Donald Trump. We pulled away from the kind of the conflict itself and looked at the general state of play. Also, but
as this campaign has gone very, very badly for the Democrats, even though she could very easily win, right? Probably that's the most likely case scenario, I think, because they cheat. But I don't know. What was I saying? It was the most likely case scenario she's going to win. The campaign's been a disaster, right? It's been Trump has knocked it out of the park over and 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 over again, right? He's just like from being shot, which they tried to memory hole, to
3 assassination attempts.
Assassination attempts, the McDonald's, the Madison Square Gardens, the garbage.
The Joe Rogan interview the other day, a triumph.
Joe Rogan, and also Joe Rogan endorsed him. It's been so. The more it's been a disaster, the more the wokies are going. I have to say, this Emily Whitfield sounds very normal. I honestly good luck to, right?
See, my reply to Chris Gibbs there, I thought that was perfectly polite, perfectly reasonable. What do I get? Just a laughing face.
His audience and fan base which way they should vote if they're good, virtuous, true followers of a series and its values, as perceived by him, one human being, using his place in our hearts and association with a cultural institution to bring out the outcome he desires. It's called bullying, right? It's called bullying. Still voting for Trump. Good for you. Again, it's like, it's interesting. Look at this. You have, when you break it down, you get 20 laughing faces, 17 thumbs up, 2 hearts, right? So it's like 22 to 19 on Facebook. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Let's look at the breakdown for your
I didn't fare too badly.
No, okay. It's 24 to it's 24 to 22.
In fact, things have actually but there was an upswing since because I had to turn off notifications so it didn't dominate my day.
I'll give you a lie. I'm not going to give you a love because that just sounds gay. And Sarah's beating all of us, right? Sarah's she's 25 positives and 12 negatives.
So despite the laughing faces, the hysteria of that crowd, the majority of responders, even on Facebook, still agree with both Sarah and myself.
Anyway, I am famous for getting people down. Yes, this finally arrived. I've been waiting for this since it came out. I'm so glad it's here. Doctor Who season 25. I was getting very, very good action at this time when this was on. I really was. I was dating a ballerina. Oh, God, she was hot. Oh. So, yeah, I have very fond memories of that time in my life. I just really discovered weed as well, which is the perfect compliment for season 25, right? So that it was all very good. So I'm very happy that this is here. This is season 23. Season 23 was kind of like my how would I explain it? My blossoming, right? That's when I was first getting my end away. And then season 25, I was in quite a nice place. So I'm very happy with this coming out. Okay, so we have, it comes with the backing thing. So I normally whip that out. I always save it. Because I make my own ones. I got to get a bunch of them printed out. There we go. Backing is they tell you what's on it. So let's look at that box. And I say I've watched that one, but the upgrade on the titles in this one actually seem a bit stronger, right? What is that on him? It's I can't even tell what it might be something from Silver Names. I don't know. So there you go. You got it feels very 80s. It feels like very 80s. Oh, you got the little satellite thing from Greatest Show in the Galaxy. There you go. So there again, I haven't seen this yet, so this is all new to me. You get this thing, and again, it really feels very, very in era, right? That Happiness Patrol. So you open this up, and what do we get? Open this up, and we're inside. There is a. I mean, these things are just, oh, look at that. It's beautiful. That's a great piece of artwork, right? These things are just fantastically created. So you got the time controller and you got the, that's the cover of the book. So inside we have the little book, which we're going to look at in a second. Let's look at the book. And you got a catalog of more stuff. Okay. I just don't understand when you put the disc in, why it always comes out with the Jody logo, that the ad. And here's the backing on the inside. Yeah, very nice. This is very much season 25. The eclectic mess, you know, something they could bring back a bit. Like Shooter's TARDIS is just boring, expensive and boring. Fine, so let's have a look at this book. Again, fantastic bit of production design. You got the kites, you got the Dalek special weapons Dalek, the Dalek shuttle, time controller, Lady Painful, Cybermen, Cyber Fleet. So yeah, you got Remembrance of the Daleks. Anything from Happiness Patrol? I don't see anything from Happiness Patrol on there. Let's have a look. The Silver Nemesis, Remembrance of the Daleks. Okay, Silver Nemesis and Remembrance of the Daleks. I only ever see that. Oh, and Greatest Show. But there's nothing from Happiness Patrol on there. It's so weird. You just see the kites from Silver Greatest Show there. But nothing like, you don't put a Candyman or something on? That's weird. Okay. So yeah, so these booklets are normally excellent, right? These are good little fun magazines to read. Who writes this? Is this Pete Matigue? I wanted to bring a darker side to the character, hidden sadness. He's seen so much violence and misery. I wanted to bring that baggage with me. Yeah, and he very much did. I think it worked very well. 3, 4. Okay, yeah. So then, yeah, for this Remembrance of the Daleks, we got a lot going on here. Original episodes, and then the optional updated effects, the isolated score, 5-1 sound, audio comedy, Sylvester McCoy, Sophie Aldred, info text, making a documentary. That was actually pretty good, right? That had a very good Grange Hill theme to it. Remembrances, a look at the influences to the past. Sylvester McCoy, Sophie Aldred, we're talking about Behind the Sofa, Karen Gledhill, Bonnie Langford, Nicola Bryant, Janet Fielding, Sarah Sutton, Wendy Padbury. Watch the classics. Watch the classic, delete an extended scene, model footage, action coverage, example of camera coverage for 2 action scenes. The season 25 trailer from the 1988, the BBC Trails and Continuities from off-air recordings. Okay. Then there's so much on this. We're still on the first disc. Kilroy with Sylvester McCoy and Louise Jameson. Daytime Live, Why Don't You, Open Air. Take 2, Breakfast Time. Sylvester McCoy promotes the new season. Hey, you know what? One second. Let's pull up a graphic so it's not just me sitting here reading it. Doctor Who season 25 Blu-ray. Images. Hey, Daisy Wazy. Is Mummy not home yet? I thought Mummy was home by now. I bet she is home. That goes there. And then here's the cover. Fine. Doink. There you go. Share screen. Ta-da! Fine. So let's keep reading. There's so much on this disc. I love it. They got this archive stuff, right? What are we up to? Daytime Live, Why Don't You? A Doctor Who fan appearance appears from 31st of March 88, Open Air, Take 2, Breakfast Time, Blue Peter. Points of view. I don't think that'd be Barry Took, though. That'd be what's the name? Daytime Live. The music demo composer Mark Ayres audition piece with Doctor Who. Well, that's interesting. Then you got PDF archive and HD gallery. Okay, that's just disc 1. Disc 2 is a special edition, an updated version of the story with new effects, optional surround sound, previously transmitted material. So the special edition isn't just new effects. You can get new effects on the transmitted edition as well. I mean, unless it's the DVD special effects, I'm not sure. I think you can get the new effects on. When I look at it, I'll let you know. I think you can get the new effects on the DVD version as well. But is it an update on that one? I really don't know. I really have no idea. But so the special edition is a recut of it. Davros Connections season 25 trailer. Looking for Dursley. The Dursley McLinden, who they based the character of It's a Sin on, right? That's him. Yeah, hang on a second. The book, the booklet talks about it, and you get this very nice artwork, and that's really nice, right? And look, Remembrance of the Darkness is the way to handle Nazis and racism, right? Bigotry in a doc. I mean, there's so many. Every episode in this season is, right? It's a masterclass on it. Oh man, I remember when they were filming it, we saw the Dalek spaceship, right? It was just wild, right? It was absolutely wild. Hang on, like, and then Rachel Jensen. Man, there's a lot in here. Oh, I remember being at Panopticon that year. Somebody spoiled to me that Davros was the Emperor Dalek. I said, "Don't spoil me," and he spoiled me anyway. Right? This is a really kind of in-depthly written article. Okay, Happiness Patrol, and again, I've seen the first episode of Special Edition. Fucking awesome! Oh, so awesome! So disc 3 get the original episode 5/1 sound. How's it doing? Just check my good lady while she's home yet. Are you home? Doink. Where are we up to? And so info text, making of documentary. That one was okay. Behind the Sofa, Dame Sheila Hancock joins the season 25 team to watch the episodes. Deleting extended scenes. Oh, Sophie ordering conversation. That's going to be very good. Leslie Dunlop interview. Okay. It seems a bit strange to me. Although she is definitely the hottest thing in this story. When Worlds Collide, a documentary analyzing the story's political ideologies. Yes. Girls, the 80s. Okay, that was an ongoing feature in the DVD range about girls in Doctor Who. They had the 60s, 70s, and 80s. That was actually good. That's a recommend. Newsnight from 2010, looking back at the 80s. That's when Doctor Who was really in the. So then you got special edition. Oh, 1 second. Okay. 1 second. Let me just send a kissy face emoji or a heart or something. Where were the kissy faces? There you go. Doink. And let me find a wee little heart. Again, look, I'm giving you great advice on how to have a good marriage. You just do what I do, and everything's gonna be okay, baby. Fine. Where are we up to? So animate. Doink. So the special editions on disc 4. Chris Clough in conversation. That's a really weird one, but okay. I mean, he did a good few episodes, good stories around there. Stephen Manfield in view. He was the one who worked on the visual effects and studio footage. So, 1 second. So now you got the booklet, and I tell you, I love the Candyman in this. It's such a bizarre story, right? I just started again. I watched episode 1 of the special edition. it's so like completely insane, and it can only be done in Doctor Who. For me, it really, really works. Some more very nice artwork. And Sylvester was really nailing his Doctor at that time, right? There you go. Fifi. Everybody loved Fifi. I'd imagine Sheila Hancock really enjoying playing this. So fine, we're up to Disc 5, which is Silver Nemesis. So the original episode, updated effects. Is that from new for this? I guess it is. The audio commentary, Sylvester McCoy, Sophie Aldred, Chris Clough, and Andrew Cartmel. The 1988 making of the documentary from PBS, not very good. It's not very good. 2010 making of documentary, that was from the DVD release. Behind the Sofa, Mark Hardy, the Cyber Lieutenant joins. Deleted extended scenes, Andrew Cartmel in conversation. That one I'm really going to want to listen to. All right. Maybe I'll talk about more of what his future would have been if they carried on. Open Air, celebrating 25 years of Doctor Who with Sylvester McCoy, Sophie Aldred, and John Pertwee. They always wheeled him out, right? Behind the Screen. What's that? John Nathan Turner interview. Yeah, if there's an interview going, John Nathan Turner will do it. Points of View, John Nathan Turner interview. Another one, Cliff Clough interview. Dorka Nivradzik. Dorka Nivradzik. Who was that? Recording the NJN making of New Jersey documentary of variable quality. Okay, I'm not even sure what that is. So you got new for Blu-ray in disc 6. That's the an exclusive edition of the story featuring restructured narrative, untransmitted scenes, newly shot material, and updated effects. Well, okay. Will it still be shit though? Special edition omnibus. I will probably watch that one instead. VHS version, which is it was a bad edit putting it all together. Right. Silver Nemesis reimagined a 55-minute special with the traditional 1970s Doctor Who repeat omnibuses. 55-minute special Silver Nemesis. That's a good amount of time trimmed. All right. And location footage. There we go. Let's get back to the booklet. Let's look at the booklet. There you go. I remember that picture of Courtney Pine and Sylvester and Sophie. Yeah, great. I like how I never noticed before. I love how the design of the new cyber ships there when they came out echoed the design of Tomb of the Cybermen. Right, I think it's really nice. Bit of Lady Painful action. I mean, it's a bit shit the story, but it's like I don't mind it being like bold and experimental. There's still a lot very good about it. It just sometimes you're going to do something experimental and it won't work that great, right? That's the danger. But if you don't do something experimental, it just gets dull, right? We'll finally see the scene with the picture of Ace painted in the Buckingham Palace. Finally, greatest show in the galaxy. So disc 7 is original episode, updated effects. With the audio commentary, Jessica Martin, Sophie Aldred, Christopher Guard, Bellboy, Stephen Wyatt, the writer, Mark Ayres, composer, and Andrew Cartmel, the script editor. Isa Nicole, Infotech Special Edition, an updated presentation of the story with new special effects, plus untransmitted material reinstated in parts 1 and 3. Making of documentary, that was okay. Behind the Sofa, Jessica Martin joins the team. I kind of like how they rotate behind the sofa. Special effects featurette, new series effects supervisor Danny Hargreaves looks back at the practical effects from the classic. Oh, man, I'm really going to be into watching that. These sets are fantastic. Victoria Wood sketch, that's probably the one with Jim Broadbent as a doctor. Knock Knock with Sophie Aldred. Okay, if you want. Audio archive, Sylvester McCoy on Round Midnight. I used to love that, right? The Psychic Circus music video coming soon. Coming soon, season 26. Well, we've seen that. Trailer made to promote the season 26 box set. HD gallery, PDF archive, all kinds of things. Then disc 8, you get Doctor Who Escape Room. Okay, that's a kind of fun new series. The collectibles, the 80s. I'm going to really look forward to looking at that. That's my era. Location footage, Tomorrow's World, Christmas quiz, Sylvester McCoy appears in costume. Okay, well done. Was he fired by then? I know. Sylvester McCoy and Open Air. Sylvester McCoy and Matt Irvin. Oh, I love a bit of Matt Irvin. Matt Irvin's always fun. And then we get the booklet again. I mention every time I see them. The clown masks were all taken from a cast of Ian Reddington's face, the chief clown. Look at that. Look at that bit of artwork there. Oh, just really good. Again, this was about the time I was getting very comfortably laid often, and I just discovered weed. Life was good, baby. And the best time to discover weed is when you're about to watch Happiness Patrol as well. Is watching Greatest Show. Oh, I love Greatest Show. I'm so glad I got this on HD now. Right, four stories I've been aching to look at for ages. So let's look at the discs. Don't even close this up. It's this way around. Again, the form factor of this, the packaging, just gorgeous. So fine. The first one we got Remembrance of the Daleks. I would say quite a dull disc there. I don't even know what it is. What's all like the cracked granite around it? I have no idea what that is. Oh, cracked granite again background, but this time we got the special weapons Dalek. Oh, what a moment of greatness to have that. Okay, and then we got next disc is Candyman. This is such a bizarre episode sort of story. Look, I love you can see my Doctor Who figures reflected. Look at that. My Doctor Who figures reflected in my Doctor Who DVDs. Yes. That's my geek cred right there on display. With Helen A. Bit of Fifi action. Next. Okay, yeah, the new Cybermen. I've told this story many times, but you had Stuart Evans made these incredible Doctor Who kits, like they're a foot tall, right? And I wanted to get the Cyberman one, and I called him up, his company, and he said, "I'm going to be in London." He came in to check out the new Cybermen costumes with an eye to making a kit of them. He said they look fantastic. I guess when he saw them on screen and he saw the story was a bit shit, they decided not to. He was going to do anyway. So he met me right outside Television Centre to sell me a kit. Thank you. Oh, one of the greatest villains. I mean, they're so distinctive of the Sylvester McCoy era, right? There you go. And what's behind this disc? They was put. There you go. For a second. Then behind it, you can see a bit of silver there. Echoing back. So, not only is everything in this collection fantastic, right? Everything about it's fantastic. So I am going to be looking forward to plowing through that, right? I am very much looking forward to plowing through that. Listen, if I had a choice of plowing that or plowing Millie Gibson, I'll probably go for that. That's just how much I wanted to watch this. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.